live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
Una madre preocupada.
Por el comportamiento perturbador de su hijo pequeño, piensa que algo sobrenatural puede estar afectándolo.
A mother concerned about her son's disturbing behavior thinks something
supernatural may be affecting him.
Right. So we saw the Prodigy.
Yes, I think that we did.
I like the match cuts. I just want to say that off the top.
The match cuts?
So there were two
that's right.
in a row.
That's right.
And it was the guy screaming and turned into the woman.
That's right, yeah.
And then the thing that happened to the guy laying there, and then it was something else laying there.
Right, yeah.
But did they stop being artistic after that point? I think.
Yeah, it had. I'm of several minds on this one.
Yeah.
It had a lot of cheap thrills. And
this had a lot of jump cuts.
But I'm going to confess.
Yeah.
That I like that.
It had a lot of jump cuts, but it seemed like there was no.
Now, jump cut. Are you sure you know that thing that you're talking about? A jump cut?
Yeah.
You know what a jump cut is, right? You mean where you jump scare or a jump cut?
Oh, jump scare.
Jump scare.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because a jump cut is an actual thing.
A jump cut. I know what a jump cut is, where you just jump scare is what I actually mean. But a
jump cut is the way that they originally made people disappear.
Yeah. Yeah, like
hey, honey, just move out of the way.
Like the man that went to the moon, the trip to the moon.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
that's a
I had to go really old.
Yeah.
When I went that far back.
Jump scare. It had many jump scares, and I.
But it didn't develop into anything. It seemed like it just kind of had a bunch of jump scares with no really climax or anything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there was a climax.
It was. Once again, it was a fairly serviceable, low budget, but it
there were some things I liked.
Yeah, there were some things I kind of liked. It had very little sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It was just.
It didn't. I feel like it should have picked up pace. Like.
Yeah, at some point you should have had at least a couple of really great effects, but. They just kind of like maintained.
Even.
The thing is
very even.
There is when you're a production designer, you move from an art director who is worried about a set and worried about the arc of the set. And in other words, you want the set to move with the story, right? And so it should have an arc, but. Production designers want to have an arc too, and I've gotten to the point to where now I want to drag absolutely everybody along with me. I want to make sure that everything has an arc. And here's a good example of this effects not having an arc. I mean, they were randomly conceived and didn't seem to be getting us anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like in fact, it wasn't even like the story was building towards anything, and the effects weren't building towards anything, and the style of the film.
It was like the first half of Mother.
It was only without the baby. It was Mother without the baby.
Right. Slow, nothing really happening.
Slow.
Every once in a while, something happened. Okay, now we're back to slow paced music.
Yeah, and it had a lot of predictability.
Yeah, well, it was very predictable.
Yeah. In fact, I remember I was sitting there calling it as it went along. Hey, he's got the. Even when we got down to the end, going, hey, he's got the.
Yeah. Well, I like the one where the kid does something where he's coming up to his mom.
Right.
And something happens, and it was actually really pretty cool how it looked.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Was that vague enough for you?
No.
He turned into something.
Oh, that was a great jump scare. That was.
Yeah.
And you know what? The funny thing about that one is, it was oddly placed, and it was the one that stood out amongst all of them, and it was just a sneaky little jump scare. Yeah, no, I actually liked that one. That stood out more than any of the rest of them. You know?
In fact, I'm not really remembering most of the other ones.
Yeah. In
The
fact,
kid was kind of. I think he was pretty good. He wasn't spectacular, but he was pretty good.
yeah, the kid was okay. I liked the mother all right. The father was unconvincing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know exactly what the father. I didn't know if he was running away or if he was staying. And the thing is even that thing where they had the big blowout and then the father separates and stuff. He just kind of like, I don't want to hang around with anymore, and he walked away.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Well, the guy that was trying to help him, he was pretty good. That was
Yes.
He probably did the best job, I think.
Yeah. And he's a classic character actor.
And that was
He's
an
been
interesting
around
scene.
forever.
That was
Yeah.
yeah.
It was. Yes. That was disturbing is what that was.
Yeah, what the kid says.
Yeah,
yes.
what the kid says. And it was just done just verbally.
Yeah.
But the kid got him over a barrel in a heartbeat. But here's the funny thing. And this is going to lead this is going to be I should probably be flogged with a cat of nine tails for what I'm going to do now.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to veer off.
Well, we got to rate this, I think.
Well,
are we
no,
done?
no,
too early.
No, too early.
Sorry, I got excited.
Here's what I'm going to do. You're going to do this.
Story time. It's story time with Mick. Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
Story time with Mick.
This had Spanish subtitles for reasons I can't even, for the life of me, when it had the Spanish subtitles, I thought to myself, well, at some point this is going to be Spanish, and all of a sudden the subtitles are turned to English, right? And the only other language in there was an old form of like blah 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 Hungarian that was only on the border to Romania and blah blah blah.
Only 4,000 people speaking.
Right, only 4,000 people on it. Right, a bunch of crap. But it reminded me.
That's the only copy they could find.
I kept seeing the Spanish subtitles, and suddenly it dawned on me. I have a great story that I want to tell.
Oh, cool.
So, there's this crazy. I don't know of any other way to say it, but I have a friend of mine who I came and designed a set for a show down in, and it was called, and it's this dog, right? And it's sort of like a Mr. Rogers kind of thing, right? So we did in the valley, and we shot it on this little stage that
I'm picturing like Mr. Rogers in like a. Why is that?
You're close.
Sorry.
Well, the thing is so it turns out that we wind up working at nights on this little stage, and the owner of it was a guy who moved a lot of around.
Ah.
From, and he was a well-placed member of the. He controlled, and he told me this. He says I controlled the. And so the thing is he would come in and he was everything that you thought, and out of control, the guy would, and he was a really heavy drinker, and he'd do lines of coke on the on the furniture all over.
Now I'm picturing Boogie Nights. Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, brown faces, but yeah, you got the idea.
Yeah.
But the guy that I really got along with, the thing is, I was, Paula did some drawings for him, she did the story.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we did it in Spanish, and somebody did the vocal for it, and then we translated the vocal.
Oh, wow.
We translated the vocal. She did the drawings for it, and then I filmed them. And basically filming in the studio with two lights and just doing moves like across like this, and literally
the old way of doing
it, where you would pin them up on the
right.
You'd pin them up on the wall, you'd light them, and you'd get inside of the drawing and just go across the drawing, right? And so one character go across the drawing and then go on to the next. And then there was one where it was gets his tail pulled, right? And so I wanted to do that by spinning it. So we didn't have like a turntable or anything like that. So we turned the camera up and straight down, and I just took 2 bowls of water, one small and one big, one bowl of water and a smaller bowl, and then taped the picture to the bowl and then spun it. And everybody loved that. They thought that was crazy, because it just sat there and spun forever, right? You get up here and you get a picture of it spinning. Now, so while we're filming that, all of this stuff that we're doing, including with the kid stuff, we filmed in a stage, but we were doing we were putting together the thing itself, and this friend of mine was doing I think his name was Chad. Chad. Huh. And Chad was working on directing the editing and putting that together while I was finishing up the story, and I'd come in and we'd talk about stuff, and so he would come in, the guy who was putting the money out for this, and basically it was his wife's project, and she came up with the idea, and he goes, oh, well, I'll have it made, and da-da-da. Mm-hmm. And but his driver was the coolest guy in the world, and we would go outside. And he'd smoke, and I'd just go out and look around, and he'd tell me, about his work and stuff, and his work basically included, driving this huge black suburban, a black suburban. How of course. And they would drive up with 2 of them wherever they went, and they went all over in these, and they did it all night, and they did, things.
Right. Entertaining things.
They would do entertaining, but they would come back to the studio and they did this for 2 weeks while we were finishing everything up. So somewhere in the middle of it, my car broke down, and so the guy goes, hey, no problem, we'll take you home. We have to make a run down to Long Beach. So we were going from the valley to my place in Redondo Beach, and I got a ride with them, and they just sent my car. They had a tow come in and sent my car to my house, fixed it and did the whole thing. Yeah. It was amazing. But because I was becoming a pal to them, and I was a friend, and I said something about that was happening.
Oh.
And he goes in the back, and I'm talking to this guy, the big honcho, and he goes, yeah, he says, I go, what do you mean? He's got support and he's going to kick ass. And he goes, believe me when I say. And he was stoned and just drunk as hell, and I took it on the chin, being a stoned and drunk as hell guy. He says, if you have some money and you have somebody that'll take a bet on that, he says,
take it.
Trust me, take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I didn't, because he's drunk and all, and I think that we finished out, and so about 2 weeks later.
Oh my gosh.
And his wife turned around and gave it was a big deal. I mean, big deal. Look in the history books for the 90s, the early 90s, and you'll see the whole thing. And I was like, and I swear to God, I was paranoid forever. You know, I mean, I was paranoid for. I should probably still be paranoid.
I'm saying
now.
you tell the story. It's like, should I be paranoid?
I think that we should be paranoid. You know what? I will totally leave this up to you as to whether this story should get out. But
Well, I think you're drunk, so you know.
okay, well, that's probably a little bit high myself. But you know what would be a good idea would be to bleep out all these names.
Yeah.
Here. Yeah,
Except for Chad.
Chad. No, leave name.
That's a classic name.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, who isn't Chad, right? Who isn't
It'll
Chad?
be bleep, 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 and Chad.
Who isn't Chad? Who isn't Chad some point of their life? But I would bleep a lot of that out.
Did Chad say
Bleep.
dude a lot? Dude. Was he one of those
Bleep.
guys?
For sure.
Yeah.
So that was
But I'll leave in the comment about Mr. Rogers.
yeah, you do that.
Maybe. Mr. Rogers dressed like a BB.
It was really hard to tell. I think it looked really good, but I never understood any of it. And I know the story edited together real nice. So there's that.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Huh.
And when we come back, then we're gonna rate it. So, what'd you think of the movie? So,
Back to the Prodigy.
yeah, back to the Prodigy, already in progress.
I thought it was just kind of run of the mill. The whole thing was like, I mean, we've already talked about it.
I have to say this, though. I didn't unenjoy it, so I'm going to have to put it 1 point above 2.5. So,
Whoa.
so I'm going to give it a 2.6 because 2.5 is...
You mean a tenth of a point.
Is a tenth of a point,
Yeah.
right? Is in the middle. Yeah, no, whole point. Holy, are you kidding? 2.5 is the dead middle, as we've said before many, many times.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2.6 just because it was...
I'm kind of I would be at a 2.5 or 6 if it freaking sped up a little bit somewhere.
Well, you know what? This is another case of where 2 times.
Again, I like pacing. See,
Yeah,
I'm all about pacing.
Yeah, you are. You
And
know?
so I can't fast forward a movie until I've seen it already.
See, I think that you can get away. I think that this one, with the dialogue and stuff, you could probably get away with a 1.4 times speed, over speed.
Yeah, but see, I want to see how the director wanted me to see it, and that can determine whether he sucks or not.
Well, evidently, he wanted you to go to sleep.
So I was glad that I saw this a little earlier than usual. And
Yes.
I'm
because
like
it
a
would
2
be
point-
very hard.
2.3.
It would be very hard to, like...
maybe 2.4, 2.3. I think I'm at 2.3. I'm sticking with that.
So we're just slightly negative between the two of us.
I'm a little bit, yeah. Probably if I thought about it more, I might keep going down, actually. If I kept thinking about this movie, I'd be like, well, I didn't like this other thing.
I ain't going to go up.
Yeah.
I didn't think the kid was bad, though, you know.
No, at first I thought maybe he was kind of mediocre, but then there was a couple scenes where he was actually really good at switching kind of back and forth.
See, this is the one thing about kids is it is difficult for them to maintain through the whole length of the film, to maintain a persona.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, the flashes, like you'll see flashes of brilliance and stuff like that, which is where Sixth Sense kind of stood out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that kid
very
was
consistent.
He was very consistent.
He was great in artificial intelligence, too.
Yes, he was. Who was it?
Haley Joe
Osment?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's what I have to say to this kid. You are no John Kennedy. Or Haley Joe Osment, for that matter.
Right. Yes.
You, sir. So, what else is happening?
I don't know.
You're going to go help me on Vengeance, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got my bags packed with my lightning rods and all kinds of other stuff.
Your bags are packed.
I don't
You're
know
ready to go.
What the hell I'm talking about, but
You're standing here outside.
I've got all my
door.
equipment ready for whatever position I will be working in. And
That's right. I think that you're going to be helping Sound
I'll bring
out.
my bag of tricks.
You're going to be helping Sound out. That's all. I'm blessing you with helping Sound out, because I think that you might be the sound guy on second unit.
Okay.
And second unit is going to shoot a lot of the film. You know what Max von Kleven used to say about second?
What's that?
He used to say, we're the ones that shoot the trailer, boys. But he said it in a German accent, which I can't do.
That's even better, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I've always wanted to have unit next to my name. So that,
and not being referring to an apartment?
Right.
The unit.
Right. I don't know. What do we have coming up? I don't know.
What do we have coming up?
But yeah,
I don't know.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go hide in the woods somewhere, and
I have to say that the particular batch of films that we have pulled together this time is
interesting. Well, we always do that.
Yeah,
we're just amazing.
We are. I think Prodigy. I think that this is. No, I can't say that this is the weakest one of the best.
Probably.
You know,
do you know what's funny is we probably disagree on that.
Really?
I have a feeling.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You guys out there are just going to have to stay tuned. By the way, I've had a lot of people that say that they really like this podcast, that we sound really funny.
Wow. Who are these people?
Who are these people? Who are these people?
They don't talk to me.
Why don't these people say something to me?
Well, we get emails once in a while, and it's always nice to know that there actually are people that will go as far as to email us. That's like the extra step.
What we would like is we would like to have enough people so that we actually have some people that would disagree with us.
Yeah.
Although we have. I mean, you know, we didn't like the Avengers, Infinity Wars, and I have to tell you the truth. Everybody seemed to like that. I think
I liked it a little tiny bit more than you did.
Yeah, well, I think it's just
not
a
by much.
Fraction.
Yeah.
So I am going to.
Are you waiting for that one guy? I'm waiting for the one guy that says, "Mother was the best movie ever."
That guy. You got to read the comments on Mother. You know, it's like there are two out there. It's
hilarious.
I have a really tough time with. Who's the other one where the little girl's head gets chopped off and and at the very end of it,
where they're driving and
and then there's nothing but people's butts at the very end, which I still can't even figure that out. And Toni Collette, is like floating up into a treehouse.
Well, I can't remember that one.
But,
Hereditary, right?
Hereditary,
yes! Hereditary.
Hereditary. That film, we argued with everybody.
That one took a sharp left turn.
Yeah,
I remember that
arguments in that, because everybody says it's a great movie until the last 10 minutes, and then they either really loved it forever, and they had that name, tattooed on their that one.
So, and this Australian one that was in the woods, and there was like remember the shop in the woods?
Baby shot?
And there was a big fire?
Yeah.
I don't remember which movie that was, but that was the same thing.
Same thing.
That one took a right turn because it was Australian.
Yeah, well, dude.
Anyway, I don't know where we're going with this.
That's supposed to be a myth. No, we're out of here. Bye.
I see dead people.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.